lack of spark in the Egyptian midfield so far today. Zidane, that's a good return ball. Is this it? Yes, it is! Egypt have broken the deadlock with just 5 minutes left, and it's their super sub, Ghetto, who is surely going to finish this tournament as top scorer. It's his 5th of the competition. A brilliant 1-2 with Mohamed Zidane, and Egypt, as they did 2 years ago, have struck close to the dead. That's it. Egypt are the Africa Cup of Nations champions for the 3rd time running and for the 7th time in history. They are simply unstoppable. Egypt and Ghana had been hoping for today, but it's Egypt and it's Ahmed Hassan.
There's Kolo Touré.
Now Kolo Touré likes to smash them. Gervinho's another player that hasn't taken one yet.
Well, he scored in the 2006 final, Kolo Touré. One of only 2 Ivory Coast players who did score. That 4-2 loss to Egypt.
Good time to have a little smile.
Who is going to flinch? This extraordinary penalty shootout. 7-all. No margin for error now for either side. Well, it looks as though he's going to go for power, Kolo Touré. Mawini could go into the back of the net with this if he blocks it. Kolo Touré, saved by Mawini! And this time the flag doesn't go up. And Zambia have the next penalty to win the Africa Cup of Nations. Now, just looking at that again, Stuart, is there too much difference between what Mawini's done there to save that as the Bamba save? Just watch.
No, I think he's okay there. He stays on his line.
He's come forward.
But it's almost at the same time. Yeah, he does come forward. But I think the other one was a little bit... But you expect the goalkeeper to move.
So tough, isn't it? What a chance for Zambia. You feel for Kolo Touré. Somebody was always going to be the fall guy this evening.
And he's been the player of the tournament as well, Kolo Touré, in some ways.
It's often the way, isn't it? So often the way.
Here's another candidate after the first couple of games. Didn't play so well today. Kalaba.
Rainford Kalaba. To put Zambia in a place in history. A chance to truly honour the memory of the 93. If Kalaba scores, Zambia are champions. He's missed! Unbelievable! Absolutely unbelievable! Rainford Kalaba blazes over the top. We stay at 7-all, and Ivory Coast are still in it. Oh, what a horrible moment.
But he gets right underneath it. He's leaning back, tries to bend it. Way up. Doesn't miss by a foot. This is by about 3 yards.
Well, both teams have had penalties effectively now to win this, haven't they? Oh, they were already celebrating.
And Gervinho, as well as he's played for us, as well as he's played in this tournament, I don't think he's a great finisher. The fact that he is 9th in line means he doesn't fancy the penalty either. Kolo Touré's led off the hook.
Stays level. All 11 penalty takers have taken it. Goes back to the start again. Exactly what happened in the 92 final.
I think the manager should take one.
And the substitutes, that'll be entertaining. Look at the state of the spot. Gervinho. Can Mawini save again? He doesn't need to, because Gervinho is fired over. And Zambia have another chance to win it. Well, after 14 penalties in a row being scored, we've now had 3 in a row missed. And another chance for Zambia.
But it's getting harder and harder now. You've got to say, taken's been brilliant up until this point, because the pitch, the penalty spot, is cutting up badly. The standing foot is slipping away from players, but that's a poor penalty from Gervinho. As I said, he's not a great finisher. He's lost his confidence in front of goal. And they've got one chance again. Another chance, Zambia.
Would a victory ever mean more to any other set of players than this Zambian team if they were to win the Africa Cup of Nations 19 years from where the squad perished in a plane crash.
It's in! Tucked away by Stopira Zunzu, and Zambia are champions of Africa. Destiny has smiled on Zambia. 19 years on, at the scene of their greatest tragedy has become the scene of their most wonderful success. Ivory Coast have fallen short yet again, and Zambia have written a quite remarkable chapter into the history book of the Africa Cup of Nations. Stopira Zunzu tucking away the winning penalty, and Zambia are champions of Africa.
There's Ike Uche now with an opportunity inside here for Moses. He's going to shoot, and it's blocked by Kone. He has the follow-up from Mba. He scores! Nigeria have the lead, and Sunday Mba scores his second of the tournament. 5 minutes to half-time, and they've broken the deadlock. Will we have a new champion in a second or two? Yes, we will. Nigeria have won the Orange Africa Cup of Nations. Joseph Yobo will have the honor. Issa Hayatu says, you hand it over, Mr. President. Joseph Yobo has the trophy. Nigeria are champions of Africa.
Strange run up at it. It's enough to send Razak the wrong way. Starts to run one way. Whoops, there we go.
Razak against Boubacar Barry.
Saved by Boubacar Barry! Penalty away from ending the 23-year wait. Well, again, it's the right height for him. That's the side where he's looked more comfortable at making a save.
Is the long wait over for Ivory Coast? The wait is becoming even longer for Ghana if this goes in.
He's got a bad wrist in this penalty shootout. He's had cramp.
Boubacar Barry has saved one. Now can he score the winner? Only in because of the injury to their first choice goalkeeper. Boubacar Barry to win the Cup of Nations for Ivory Coast! He's done it! Côte d'Ivoire have beaten Ghana in a penalty shootout as they did 23 years.
Sur ce superbe geste de Mohamed El-Lili.
Avec Gonjo, la tête d'Nkoulou, l'égalisation pour le Cameroun. Les supporters exultent et le fait chavirer. Nkoulou, le stade de l'amitié et l'Algérie encaisse son deuxième but dans le jeu dans cette Coupe d'Afrique des Nations. Nkoulou.
What a goal from Maxon and Boubacar! His first goal in open play at an Africa Cup of Nations tournament. And talk about timing! Here he comes, he just goes off the back of Gaba. It's a really good pass as well. Centre half doesn't jump for it, flicks it over his head. It's Hannery beaten a bit too easily, you'd have to say. Well, we talked about goals of the tournament. That's right up there. That could win it and be the goal of the tournament as well. Great individual. Is over. The indomitable Lions are Africa's finest again. They've become the second most successful nation in this tournament by winning it for the 5th time. and they have torn up the form book here. Their first win in 8 against Egypt. They have ended a 21-game run where Egypt,
One of Africa's finest footballing nations, have gone all the way.
well, when we were talking about it beforehand, right at the start, we didn't even mention Cameroon as being one of the favourites.
Well, this is absolutely incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Did you see what happened there? The deflection's taken the ball into the back of the net. It's absolute madness that's taking place here. It comes off Sally and it just goes flying up in the air and over behind the goalkeeper, and no one can quite believe it. We're not even 3 minutes into the game and we've already got a goal. And the Senegal team has just been completely silenced. And the referee blows the whistle. Algeria are champions of Africa. Algeria have done it. They won their second Africa Cup of Nations title.
Set piece, Ademola Lukman to take it. Curls it towards the near post. Recon from Chukwueze. True-step goal! Goal! Goal Nigeria! True-step goal's third in the tournament. Strong header from a corner, and the Super Eagles are in the lead.
So why we can lead indeed. We talk about True-step. For me, he's one of the best players so far.
Dingra will take the corner. The crowd are on their feet. Here it comes. Gabani, back post chance, goal! Frank Kisser! Cote d'Ivoire are back in the game. Another goal. And Nigeria's defense for once let them down.
Yeah, you can see 5 green Nigerian shirts. None of them attack the ball.
Dingra to attack Aina again. And Dingra, can he cross? It's a great ball. It's a goal. Who got the touch? Was it Hala or was it Trusteko? Let's have a look at it again. Dingra once more. Vital in the build-up here. Gets the cross in. Hala got a little foot ahead of Trusteko. That is a fabulous goal.
That's a striker that wants it more. He put himself in front of Ekon, stretched that long leg of his, and then he had a poke on and meet the goalkeeper, because that's such kind of like a...
There it is, it's all over. Cote d'Ivoire are the African champions. What a fairy tale story here. They were dead and buried after the group phase. It's a magnificent comeback from the host country. Maxalain Gradel. There they are, the champions of Africa. Cote d'Ivoire on home soil with the African Cup of Nations. Celebrations all round here across this country. What a fairy tale finish to a wonderful tournament.
Maybe lost a yard or two of pace, Sadio Mane, but he inspires an attack. Senegal thrust forward. Popgate! Sensational! Stellar! Supreme Senegal! Maybe an extra time they produced the moment. And it's Popgate with his third of the tournament. Senegal score their first ever goal in an African Cup of Nations final, and it is utterly outstanding. Mane inspired build-up, Popgate finishes with aplomb, and Senegal lead as the Lions of Teranga roar loudest in Rabat.
What a strike. Look at this. The steal by Sadio Mane is a total complete counter-attack. And the way he strikes it, he was even at no point out of balance when he struck the ball. Was still able to keep the back.
The final whistle and Senegal seal a sensational success. Sadio Mane becomes only the third player ever to win multiple AFCON